Hello everyone, this is Vivi. Welcome to my channel. And as you probably know, the name of my channel is Personal Growth through Van Life. And so how do we actually grow through van life, right? I decided to put it together a video to help you really see the different side of van life, because this is what actually bring meanings into my life. It is what helps me grow and actually beyond my imagination, even before I step into the van lifestyle. And the benefits of it is profound, and that's the reason why I decided to make this video and share with you some of the things that I have learned from this lifestyle and how it's actually helped me grow as a person. So here are the 9 things that you probably didn't know about van life that actually help you to grow as a person. So the first thing is the healing benefit of van life, because it allows you to go to more remote places and be closer to Mother Earth, to nature, where it's a lot less polluted in terms of physical pollution, or mental pollution, or energetic pollution. So the more you get in touch with Mother Earth, the more you are grounded, and healing is taking place that way. And so it also helps to cleanse your mind, cleanse your energy, and also bring you more peace, also raise your vibration, and it's much easier to stay in gratitude. And that's how it's also help you to raise your vibration as well, because you're not being dense up, stay stuck in your low vibrating mindset or low way of thinking. So that's the number 1 benefit. The second thing is van life helps you to challenge yourself, put you out of the comfort zone, and so it really helps you to increase your problem solving skill. So it's not a very easy aspect of van life, because there are a lot of challenges with this lifestyle, because it's just so different. Not a lot of people live like that, and so there lack of resources, and there's a lot of things that you have to figure things out in order to make it work for you and to sustain the lifestyle. So all of these things you would have to figure it out yourself, even though there are resources on YouTube or on Google, on different places, but eventually you would have to modify it and individualize it to actually make it work for you. And so it does challenge you to push you with your problem solving skill. So I think a lot of people may say, oh, that is actually the downside of van life, but in my opinion, I think is one of the challenge that actually help you grow. Once you pass that test, then you can actually enjoy the lifestyle a lot more, and that's the beauty of it. I have also talked about this as well, that how van life pushed me to go into the unknown, and that's how I was able to gain the courage, like train myself to have the courage to step further out of my comfort zone, because you can only grow when you get out of your comfort zone. If you're in your comfort zone, you're not gonna grow. Just like when you go work out at the gym, you have to increase the level higher and higher in order to shape your body. So it's the same with training our mind. So when we push the limit of our comfort zone and expand it further and further, we would have to go out of that borderline about that comfort zone. That means we have to step into the unknown territory in order to grow, in order to expand ourselves, to gain the different perspective. That's another beauty of van life that I really love and I really appreciate it, because not only it challenges you with problem solving skill, but also helps you to gain the courage whenever you step into the unknown, like traveling through different places to different regions or provinces or even different country. They're constantly gonna be something that you don't know, and you're gonna face a lot of problems that's gonna test you out of your limit, or you're gonna meet new people and you're gonna have different perspective about certain things or certain subjects. And so that's how it actually helps you grow, when you get out of your comfort zone. And when you already push your limit, you gain more courage, and that's how you keep pushing yourself to grow and elevate your vibration as well. Because the more courage you have, the more confidence you have, and that's how it can help you elevate and grow all together. So we're into number 4 now. This one is a really nice aspect of van life, and I think that I mentioned it quite a few times in my channel as well, how van life help you to stay more in gratitude. First of all, because of the lack of resources, so you constantly have to go get water, and there are less places for you to go get water. That's just one thing. That's is an example, right? So like at home you have unlimited amount of water, but with living in a van you only have limited amount of water, like 10-12 gallon or something like that. So that means you would have to be pretty cautious or be more conscious about water consumption. And for that reason, because everything becomes limited, so you cannot help but being more grateful when you actually have those resources in hand, like power also. That's another example. Like I don't have like unlimited power in my van. Like if there's no sun, I wouldn't be able to utilize the solar panel for power, and there's no plug-in everywhere I go. And so that's also a problem for you to solve this. So you have to be creative with it and utilize multiple resources in order to figure out what's the best way to work for you. At the same time, when you are able to find these resources, you can't help but being more grateful that, oh, now I have water. I'm actually grateful for water, because without it I can't live in my van, or without powers I can't live, I can't charge my devices and such. But when we live in a normal living condition, like we don't pay attention to any of that because everything is unlimited. So when it's taken away from, then we start paying attention. Just like when we are healthy now, we are not appreciating for our lives until we actually get sick, until we get cancer or heart diseases or diabetes. Then we start appreciating life because that's being taken away from us. And so why we are not learn to appreciate everything now is we have it now. So that's a huge lesson that I learned from VANLIFE. When living minimally, it teaches you a really big lesson about being more conscious, being more in present, and always being gratitude, because knowing that even though the resources are abundant, but living this way helps you to realize so much, like all the necessity that's needed for us to survive, and so you have to be grateful for all those resources, and that it is limited. It is abundant, but at the same time it's also limited, and we shouldn't take it all for granted. So number 5 leads us to minimalism. So in my opinion, living as a minimalist helped me stay more in balance. And how minimalism helped me grow, it is because the more you have in your life, the more it's actually clutter you, even with 3D objects. So things that you don't really need and you just accumulated, you would have to have more space for it. You have to take care, you have to take care of it. So by letting go of all things that are unnecessary, it will free up space and time in order to pay attention for what actually matters. And this goes with not just the physical objects, but also in our mindset and our mentality, how we think and how we feel as well. Minimalism is all about being in balance. It's not about getting rid of things. It's more about staying in center and balance. Otherwise, there's no point for minimalism. It's because throughout our life we have accumulated so much of negative beliefs, indoctrination, and all on the negative mindset. And so living this lifestyle actually help you to be more conscious. Once you get rid of things in your environment that is unnecessary, it will free up space. When you change your environment, it will also free up space, and it would also have the effect on you as well, because once you having more awareness and once you are more conscious, your way of thinking also change and your emotion also change. And that's how minimalism actually have the impact on your growth, not just in a physical way, but also in your mental way of thinking as well. So it's actually a pretty huge aspect. I didn't think that environment would impact on your growth. As I realized that when I changed my environment, when I changed my lifestyle, I changed as a person. The way I live, the way I behave, even in my manner and how I carry myself as well. So everything changes. So your environment does have the impact on you and help you grow. And so that's how minimalism actually help you to release all the unnecessities, eventually help you to clear out your minds and clear out your energy as well. get to number 6. So this is what I really love about van life. It's all about having adventures, like exciting adventures. I know that some people enjoy van life locally, like just stay at one place, but I think for most people who live in the van because they want to get the thrill of the adventure, doing something else differently, being out the box lifestyle. Some even just go to van life seasonally or short term just because of this aspect of van life, to have an exciting adventure. And that's actually what I enjoy the most about van life as well, because it's allowed me to travel to so many different places, to meet so many different people, to learn new things. I even physically challenge myself when I go to national park to do longer hike or like a harder hike. It's like an adrenaline, I'm just so excited, and like the more I get to travel, the more I actually feel closer to Mother Earth, and the more I feel more at home within myself. It doesn't matter if I travel with other people or I travel alone by myself. I actually enjoy traveling alone by myself, and I have talked a lot about this in my book discussion series, how traveling alone actually help you grow as a person as well. So yeah, this aspect of van life is really exciting, and that's what most people really get into van life for, beside money savings benefit of van life. But I think this is the most exciting thing about this lifestyle that allows you to have an exciting adventure, to be wherever you want and to be as close to nature as you want. This is a really big thing for me about van life, and it's one of the reasons that got me into this lifestyle, and that is to have more time for myself, to focus on what I really love to do, my passion. And because living this lifestyle, I didn't have to work so hard in order to afford all the expenses, and that's exactly what I did in the first 2 years when I lived in Vancouver. I could work part-time and part-time travel, so it allows me so much time to focus on myself, my passion, and just run with it. And that's how I actually come to know who I am. And I'm guessing most the time people don't really know who they are because they're so busy working, chasing money, and gaining higher status in the society, and taking care of families, or even like pleasing other people as well. And so all of these activities make us lose our track, and we eventually lose ourselves, and we don't know who we are anymore until we actually spend time to learn about ourselves. So where and how do we learn about ourselves? We have to start with passion and our interest, right? So I think that is the first gauge that help us to know about ourselves first. It's like when you meet other people, how do you get to know how do you get to know them? So you try to learn to figure out what they like and what they don't like, what their passion are. So it's the same way with us as well. So learn to be with our own best friend. Learn to know who we are as a person. And so van life affords me to do that. I spend so much time alone by myself with no one else around. Sometimes I just went to like some islands and I just spent several days all by myself. I didn't talk to anyone. I just say hi with people on the hike and on the trail, and that's it. But in the weekends, or like when I'm ever have times off, that's what I do. If I don't spend, some weeks I do spend time with my friends, but some weeks I rather just be alone by myself and having my own adventure and get to know who I am, because that's the most important thing. You have to know yourself first before you can actually make friends and have relationship with other people. And that's another aspect that van life really help you grow as a person. I think this one is kind of fun because through van life, I am able to connect with a lot of people. Interestingly, that's how I get to make friends. Sometimes people come to me, or sometimes even at work, when I talk about my lifestyle, then it's got my co-workers really interested, and we just started to talk more about these traveling stories, and that's how I get to connect with people, when I share with them my stories, my traveling adventures. It's really, when you travel, it's really make you a storyteller. I think I heard about that somewhere, but I think it's really true. There's something interesting and exciting in a conversation. When you talk to people, there's a conversation starter, and so it's much easier to connect to people. I think that everyone enjoys some sense of adventures as well, and so it's also inspire them to actually go out there and push the envelope a little in order to have their own adventures. And so sometimes they even like look up to me and ask me things, like places I go to and on the adventure and the stories in my life. And so it's I find that it's a lot easier to make genuine friends and connection after living this lifestyle, rather than disengage me from society. Well, I disengaged from society because I feel like I needed to have time by myself on my own. But it's not like, oh, I can't connect to other people anymore because of this lifestyle. Yes, there's certain aspects of challenges in relationship, but I don't think it's necessarily because of the nomadic lifestyle that affects the relationship. So I also talk about this in my book discussion. I think it's chapter 7 and chapter 8. So if you want to learn more about this, then I think I will have the card somewhere here and here, and so you can click on that video to know more about the relationship in van lifestyle and how it doesn't really affect you at all if you actually grow as a person. But I think as you live genuinely and authentically yourself, people will just come to you, and it's just so much easier to connect, and is in a much deeper level, and you don't feel like you have to fake anything in order to please other people. And so that's the beauty of it as well. Okay, so number 9, it's all about open your mindset and having a new perspective. So I think this aspect is like the combination of everything that I just talked about in the previous 8 aspects of van life, because as you grow, it's gonna expand your awareness, and you're gonna start to have different perspective about yourself and about the world around you as well, about other people. And so living this lifestyle, because it's helped you grow, it's helped you heal, it helps you to have exciting adventures, meeting new people, really pushing out of your comfort zone. For sure, you're gonna have different perspective about who you are and about your life. So this is basically the totality of everything that I just talked about, by shifting your awareness and your perspective. And And once you have different perspective, you're gonna look at problems in your life differently. You're gonna have different solutions that you may not have before for certain problems that you had in the past. So comes with different perspective means that we have grown as a person, and it's also up to us where do we want to go from here, and how else that we want to push ourselves to continue growing. And so I think that this lifestyle, in conclusion, it does help us to grow as a person, because it, for all of the reasons that I just discussed here, and I wouldn't say that it is a tool, but it does give us a lot of leverage to help us grow. And from there, we would have to take the work on ourselves, and how do we want to continue to grow from here on. Now that we have already learned about ourselves, and that we have become more authentic about ourselves, now we have to dig deeper into the work and into ourselves in order to continue to grow and evolve. So I think van lifestyles can be a pretty good foundation. It can provide like a first foundation to help you to know yourself, and from there you can grow and evolve in however way that you want. So that concludes my video. I hope that it gives you a lot more insight, and if you consider this lifestyle, hopefully that is provide some useful information to you, and that van life can be a lot more to the surface that you typically know about through online resources and through YouTube. So hopefully this will open your mind to get to know more about this lifestyle and how it can help you grow as a person, because it has changed me. So I know that for those that interested in this van life, hopefully if you go into this lifestyle, hopefully that it will also help you grow and evolve as well. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. I will catch you in another video. Bye. If you enjoyed the content of this video and interested in personal growth, make sure that you visit my website livingthroughalchemy.com to download the first chapter of my book. And if you have read the book already, please don't forget to leave me a reviews on Amazon for good karma. Thank you. Bye guys.